What is up, guys? Welcome to the new studio. I'm finally set up in my new place and I'm back on the weekly videos with the goal of helping you to become the best piano player you can possibly be in the most efficient way possible. And in this week's video, I'm going to show you a really cool trick to help you come up with your own neo-soul progressions. If those types of progressions are something that you've never quite got your head around, this video is going to be perfect for you, giving you a really simple technique to help you start coming up with your own neo-soul progressions. And if you enjoy this video and find it useful, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little bell icon so you don't miss out on any new content. So that's enough chatting from me. Let's head over to the piano and get stuck in with it. So this technique I'm about to show you is pretty simple to understand theoretically, but actually applying it may vary in difficulty depending on how big your voicing vocabulary is. All we're going to do is choose a top note, so let's go for G, and then choose a bottom note, let's go for F. And make sure there is a reasonable amount of space between them, I'd say at least an octave. These are completely random and there are going to be endless possibilities. Well, maybe not endless, but a big enough combination to keep you busy for a very long time. And this note indicates the top note of our voicings, and it's going to remain constant throughout the entire progression. It's not going to change. And this note indicates the bottom note of our voicings. And what we're going to do with this one is take it down chromatically. So say we wanted a 4-note progression, our first chord will have these as its top and bottom notes, chord 2 will have this, chord 3, and chord 4. So the top note stays the same and the bottom note goes down chromatically, and our job is to basically just fill in the space between the notes. The chords don't need to be harmonically related or anything like that. You can just try a bunch of random stuff and see what sticks. Let's give it a go. So for our first chord, we've got F in the bass and G on the top. We could play an F major. That would be an F major 13. Or we could play an F minor. That would be an F minor 11. Let's stick with that F minor. So that's chord 1. For chord 2, we need to come up with something that has E in the bass and G on the top. Now, G is the minus third of E, so this slightly limits our options and pushes us more towards a minor voicing. We'd struggle to pull off a major voicing for this one. So let's go for another minor voicing, something like this. That's an E minor 11. So the first two chords together. And now we need something with E flat in the bass and G on the top. Let's go for an E flat major 13. Let's go for that one. And finally, we have a D in the bass, and that G still on the top. Let's go for a nice big D minor voicing. This is kind of like a developed Kenny Barron voicing. So let's put all of those chords together and see how they sound. And that's sounding pretty good to me. And you might be interested as to why this actually works. By following this simple technique and following these rules inherently means that you have good voice leading in the bass with that chromatic movement, and you also have a common chord tone at the top, kind of gluing everything together. These two factors are absolutely vital in these types of progressions, and it's these concepts that make a harmonically unrelated progression sound relatively stable. Sure, this technique isn't foolproof. You can still come up with some progressions that might not work quite as well due to other reasons, but we're not going to go super deep in this video. This is just about getting you started creating your own progressions. So to finish off, let's quickly go through the process again with some different starting notes. Let's go for A as our top note and D for our bottom note. And we'll stick with another 4-chord progression, meaning that our 4 chords will have these as their top and bottom notes. Chord 1, let's go for a D minor. That's a D minor so what voicing. Chord 2, let's change things up and go for a, what's that? Kind of a C sharp diminished with a sharp 5 on the top. Chord 3, we could play a C sus13. And chord 4, let's go for a B minor, B minor 11. So that one works. It's not quite as strong as our first one, but let's see if we can make it a bit stronger with a few little tweaks. Something you can sometimes try is changing the order of the chords. So instead of going chromatically down, let's try this instead. So it's still the same notes, just in a different order, and it's still going to have nice voice leading. That sounds much stronger, and the reason being is because we've got that diminished chord leading back into the D minor. So using that simple technique, we've managed to come up with these 2 progressions. So hopefully, if you've struggled with getting your head around how to create these types of progressions, you now have a method you can use as a starting point, and which will hopefully lead you onto coming up with some dope progressions. And if you're on Instagram, why not make a video showing what you've come up with and tag me, piano_pig. I'd love to see what you guys create from this video. And that wraps it up for this one. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time.